How are y'all? Peace, YouTube. Welcome back to all of our lovelies who are running it back. I got to start shouting y'all out because we do be having some OGs who run it back. Welcome back to the OGs if you catching it on the replays. How was y'all D's? How was y'all's Rade? All right. It was really beautiful. I really enjoyed the vibe of today. It didn't even really feel like a raw day, but in a sense, bitch, I can't talk, bitch. In a sense, it did feel like a raw day. It was pretty chill. But yeah, y'all, we about to go ahead and get started. You said very insightful and creative. No, for sure. For sure. I cannot talk. I can't talk, y'all. Oh, okay. Welcome in, baby boos, new and trues. Welcome to the Crystaline Mars show. Peace, Keisha J. Welcome in. My day was well, thank you. Welcome into episode 412 of the Crystaline Mars show. I am your co-host, Mrs. Duüblé Jones. I am the lady with the stones to come here and to leave us alone. And I'm a spiritual guide to assist you in this life in any way that I can. So head over to the website and book your personal one-on-one services if my energy resonates with you, when you'd like some guidance or another perspective. Shout outs to the collective, the real ones who have been placing y'all orders and taking advantage of our Easter sale, which ends at 4 a.m. Eastern time on the 21st. So we have a few hours. We have a few hours left of our sale. I added some new pieces to the website as well. Super gorgeous bracelets, y'all. Some bangles, rather. We have some crystal bangles here. Let me show y'all, because, bitch, we got them on deck. I came through with 4 new bangles and an anklet. So, y'all go check them out, literally, on the website, crystalinemars.com. Is this the backside? Yes, this is the backside. So, here we go here for y'all. I forget their names. I know this one right here is Soft Life. It's Soft Life. Her energy is so soft. So we have, let me get a little closer. So this is what we got. This is what she look like. And we got a little cat's eye in the cut there. Let me show YouTube. This is what she looks like. This is Soft Life, available on crystalinemars.com for 20% off. I can't remember the prices off the top of my head. So y'all got to check out the website if you want to know how much they cost. But I need you to gain, not lose, okay? And here is the other one. What's her name? I forgot her name. Y'all got to head over to the site, like I said. But these colors are super freaking beautiful. The energy is super beautiful. And then we have this gorgeous beaut. She is stacked. I should call her stacked, because when I say she is thick, she is thick. And she got a little jangle, as you can see. So I'm trying to like spread the crystals out so y'all can kind of see her energy. But this is what she looks like. Also available on crystalinemars.com. Can't remember her name either. And then we have this gorgeous abalone shell bangle. Okay. And this is what she looks like. So this one's great for like healing, grounding, love, empathy, clarity, transformation. So we have her, and then we have an anklet available on the website as well. Super lightweight, super beaut, available for you. And her name is Crystaline. I remember her. Her name is Crystaline. And we have a, what's your name? You are green bloodstone. Green bloodstone. So it's great for healing the heart and cleansing the blood and good health as well. So this is an anklet available on the website. I do know she is $50 plus the 20% off if you take advantage of her. You said Soft Life is gorgeous. Thank you. Peace. Welcome in. Welcome in. And y'all candles are burning. Y'all candles are burning beautifully. I have been reaching out to y'all to give y'all debriefs. Sierra, your kids' candles is definitely active, so it's doing what it needs to do. I'm glad that you followed your highest self and booked that protection ritual for your children. But y'all candles are definitely busy. Your rituals are busy. Shout outs to y'all. I still have some more rituals to work. To those of you who booked some today. Thank you, Zendaya. Thank you so much. Peace Magic. Taquan, welcome in, y'all. Lemonade, hey. Jasmine, yes. So Jasmine purchased, what did you purchase, Jasmine? You purchased the calcite. This one. Wait, one of these, no. This one, yeah, Jasmine posted, you got the calcite. But this one, this necklace that's available on the website, I don't have it on the chain right now, but it's paired with like this gorgeous small double link chain. This one will pair beautifully with the Soft Life. So I might make a set available on the website, crystalinemars.com. But this is literally a beautiful pair. Or it could go with this one as well. It could go beautifully with this one. So anybody who did want to bundle up. But that's that. I just wanted to show y'all the pieces on real live, on real time, in real time. And so let's go ahead and flow with the message of the day, y'all. So it's like this dual message here. But okay. I want you to disregard. Well, no, don't disregard. Okay, we're going to talk about it. Because I was a little flustered trying to run on time today. And so I was like, okay, what's the message of the day? What's the message of the day? What's the message of the day? And I channeled the message of the day is it's pruning season, process of elimination. It's pruning season, process of elimination. And I immediately thought about how prune juice is really, really gross. Prune juice is really gross. Nobody, no kid likes to take prune juice, but prune juice will definitely flush you out. And just connecting that with this Taurus energy, we are definitely going to be pruning at this time in this season when it comes to just weeding out what no longer serves, when it comes to allowing ourselves to transform and evolve. Okay, and there may be some things that you don't want to do that your future self is going to thank your present self for doing, okay? When I was outside today creating, a black butterfly visited me 3 times, followed by a red cardinal, which is ancestral energy, and that black butterfly represents, you know, death, rebirth, transformation. I just finished watching, I forgot what episode it is of the show Black Mirror that's on Netflix. And the episode that I watched was pretty much, it was this woman, it was a show about a woman's life. And it was Joanne is Awful is the name of the episode on Black Mirror on Netflix. And she was watching her show literally play out in real time. She was watching her life play out in real time. And so was everybody else, quote unquote, real time. And at the end of the show, she pretty much she got to the root of whatever this system was. And she broke the system. She broke the system. And so all of these illusions and confusions of self, they died. Those versions of herself died, and she got back to source. She got back to her life. And so it was just this energy of collective connecting back to source energy, our inner source, our God body. And so there's definitely a lot of truth, a lot of enlightenment that the collective is growing through right now. It's very much light bulb. It's very much light bulb energy when it comes to just it making sense, when it comes to you seeing, you know, getting a peek behind the veil, you know, truth being revealed and things like that. So definitely prepare yourself. When I saw the butterfly for the 3rd time, I just paused for a second and I was like, I welcome in change and I embrace the transformation. So somebody could leave that declaration. I welcome in the change and I embrace the transformation. And as soon as I said that affirmation or declaration, I got the chills and I was just like, okay, because I kept seeing the butterfly and I was just like, okay, I see you. And then that 3rd time it was like, okay, I need you to declare something, you know, I need you to declare a truth. Right. And so, there's definitely, and as I was, the first time that the butterfly came through, I was literally about to make the post for our jewelry. And I was writing at that time, the sale ends at on the 21st at 4 a.m. Eastern time. So literally there is a door that is closing. There is a portal that is closing. There is an energy that is closing with our sale. Our sale is just like a physical representation of what's actually happening in the spiritual realm. I'm just channeling this as we speak. So definitely allow yourself to be open. Just be open to maybe even revisiting some things that you put down. And yeah, it's yes, transformation central, because that 21, like we always talk about, is that Papa Legba energy. And so being that I channeled that transformation, the butterfly came as I was channeling that 21. I'll ask 21 questions playing in the background now. Yeah. So we right on the money. I need y'all to definitely stay tuned, ground yourself, and be ready. Be ready for the shifts. Okay? I don't want to see you cry. Got some questions and I gotta ask. I know the words. I swear I do. How did I just butcher that? Girl. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the message of the day. Not 21 questions coming on though, like as I'm literally talking about that 21. So let this be confirmation, y'all. Like literally, some of y'all may feel called to do some rituals tonight and really work with that shadow energy, especially being that tomorrow is Monday. We have that Cancer energy there. So this will be a good time to do some moon work, some releasing, and even some manifestation, right? Because we're still in this shadow period. So the daily energy for the 21st. All right, y'all. So don't forget, the service of the week is Unlock with Oshun and Ajay. 15% off. Great meditation service that is going to assist the collective when it comes to planting those seeds, being intentional, and calling in that prosperity, abundance, and wealth. So that's the Unlock with Oshun guided meditation, available on CrystallineMars.com for 15% off this upcoming week as we prepare for the new moon that peaks in Taurus on this upcoming Sunday. Okay, so for the daily energy, like I said, our sale ends at 4 a.m. and a new beginning is here for us at that same time. On this day, though, reflect on the 17th. Reflect on the 17th and your previous past, but more specifically the 17th. I channeled there's another chance to choose. There is another chance for you to choose that will arise. Okay? I also channeled, will you forgive and release or harbor and cling on to what hurts? Okay? So that's a question for you to ask yourself and for you to answer yourself. Will you forgive and release or harbor and cling on to what hurts? Do what makes you feel most uncomfortable, because it is in that discomfort that you are actually going to grow. Okay? It is when we are complacent and are just very comfortable where we stay stagnant. That's when we become more stagnant, because we're cozy, right? So there may be some things that come through tomorrow that you really don't feel like, that make you feel uncomfortable. Some things that you may even, and they could have something to do. Yeah, we have the death and rebirth right here, transformation energy, and we have the Emperor here. So it's time to take action. But there may be some things that you're being called to prepare yourself for, transitions that you're being called to prepare yourself for, and things like that. And you may not want to do certain things because you just want to hold on to it. And again, like I said, your future self will thank your present self for severing those ties, or, letting those old versions of you stay on that timeline, but allowing for your soul to evolve to something greater. Okay. What else? Spiritual. This will be a great day to conduct any spiritual and energetic cleansings. Okay. Taking a relaxing bath, smudging your aura, smudging your home as well. There may be some difficult decisions that need to be made, or so make these difficult decisions, or something or someone will make them for you. Okay. We have Glamorous now playing in the background by Fergie. So I told you, like, your future self is going to thank you. Your future self is going to thank you here. All right. So what else we have? Yeah, wow. I channeled this energy, not even seeing it was at the bottom bullet. I channeled there is a major awakening / light bulb moment for the collective. So y'all definitely be open, be receptive, because we're leveling up. the opportunity, the portal is open for us to level up. So that's what can be closing. It could be like this purgatory energy that is closing. It could be this blast from the past, because even when it came to the Black Mirror episode that I was watching, she pretty much, it was a past lover that she had never gotten over, came back to the surface as she was talking to her therapist, and then that lover came into town, right? And she pretty much spun the block, and that was the thing that costed her relationship. And then it affected her job situation and things as well. So some of us may have some past energy that tries to come back as well, or maybe just thinking about the past person, and allow yourself to refocus your energy, okay? And so the colors for the day are baby blue, silver, and white. And if anybody would like to book any rituals, I'd recommend booking the Access Granted, Sweet Life Manifesto, and or the Healing the Past, available on crystalinemars.com. And if you do book the spiritual service of the week, the Unlock with Oshun and Ajay, you can also get a Sweet Life Manifesto personal ritual candle burn for 25% off if you book them two together. So that's what we have. Ajay, so that concludes the daily energy. Crystal said, I started watching Black Mirror. I'm just on season 1, episode 2, though. I'm on season 7. Brother Logas was watching it at first, and he was watching season 7. And I watched the episode called Eulogy the other night, after we had a lot of death and rebirth energy that I channeled for the collective. And I thought that was the last episode. So I was about to spin the block and just run it back to season 1 on today. But I saw it was more episodes. And I was like, oh, okay. Hey. So once I finish season 7, I'm going to start over at season 1 and run it from the top. But what do you think about it? What are your thoughts? It's a pretty interesting show. And when I started watching this episode as well, I looked at the clock and it was 6:53. The episode started at 6:53, and 6:53 is one of my childhood addresses. And then I watched the episode, took a shower, got out of the shower. It was 8:03. And that was my childhood home, like the first one before 6:53. So there's definitely like this blast from the past energy, this opportunity for you to do something again and for you to choose wisely. So you said White Bear episode was my fave. What channel was that? I don't know what that is. So I don't know what channel was that. What episode was that? So that's what we got, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into the collective tarot tea time, you and me time. Peace to our Facebook lovely, whoever you are. Welcome into all of our YouTube lovelies, our Facebook, Instagram as well. If y'all do want a reading tonight, y'all can send y'all love offerings in, and I will conduct those first come, first serve, okay? He let his daughter know. My daddy told me, say. He let his daughter know. Blessed Beyond Measure said, good evening, everyone. I'm so happy I caught a live. We're so happy that you're here to share the vibe. Keisha said, I'm starting to work out tomorrow. Let's get it. Kanye's workout plan. Say it's Kanye's workout plan. That's right. Do your work. Eat that salad. No dessert. Make them go berserk. I used to love that video. Y'all know that. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get into it. Ray Bay, peace, baby boo. Graffiti said live guided meditation tonight. Probably not. We'll see though. Probably not though. It's feeling like a strong no. So no. No, not tonight. So let's see. Let's start with the collective. Let's start with the collective perspective. Just give me one to give me like the overall energy, and then we gonna move around. Welcome in our Experiential Mo. Peace, Miss Sheba. Okay, we have the Page of Wands in reverse. The Page of Wands in reverse. Okay, so I do see these restrictions being lifted here. There are some restrictions being lifted. Let's see. Let me pull some oracle to see what's up. What's up with these restrictions being lifted? We have discrimination in reverse. Okay, so unfair treatment, that's being lifted. What else we have? Let it come out. All right. We have the Ten of Cups upright. Okay. So, interesting. So with this Ten of Cups, whatever this is that is being lifted, it's going to take a burden off of you. It's definitely it has something to do with like maybe your creativity, your relationships as well. We have true feelings here. We have true feelings here. So yeah, some of y'all have been, like I said, feeling restricted, feeling claustrophobic, feeling suffocated in a space. Something about a hospital may be significant as well very soon for someone, because I'm seeing like the medics like move around it like I need the oxygen tank, and it's just like a lot of energy with this heart or healing energy. Let me see. Hold on. I gotta change this song because I'm not getting jiggy with this vibe. One sec. Why do I keep doing that? I just need to have you open. We got Resurrection. Okay, that was Resurrection by... Come on, Easter. That was Resurrection by Bone Thugs and Harmony playing just now. All right, so let's see. Yeah, I said these restrictions being lifted and now you could rise. Because with the restrictions, like with the resurrection, you know, like I'm just seeing the Christ energy pinned to the cross. And now my left ear's ringing. Yeah, we have help from a dentist up right here. Somebody, okay, so I'm picking up on somebody specific, but I'm seeing somebody have a bad fall. Somebody have a bad fall. And it may mess up their face or their teeth or something like that. But I'm seeing like a swollen lip and bloody teeth. So something about the mouth from this fall or something like that. Let me see. Yeah, there's some kind of emergency coming through very soon. We have depression. So we have true feelings. We have depression. Somebody has really bad anxiety as well. Somebody may have been having like scary dreams, or maybe it's been, you know, signs from spirit in regards to what's happening, and it just may have been challenging for you to like accept. Some of y'all could even benefit from the dream interpretation service that I do provide as well when it comes to dissecting certain dreams. Peace, welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. We have the renovate in reverse. We have renovate in reverse. All right. So yeah, with this renovate in reverse, there is something that is not being renewed here. Yeah, I'm seeing a house that is losing appreciation, and it's going to have to be broken down. This can be some generational stuff, or this can be like a elder, or maybe an elder is helping you in some way, shape, or form when it comes to rebuilding something. Some of y'all may be working on building something, but there's something about a house that's about, what's that? Bringing down the house. Bringing down the house. Isn't that a movie? Isn't that Bringing Down the House? Isn't that the movie with Queen Latifah, right? If I'm not mistaken, I can't remember the details, and now I'm just seeing just right. Not sure if something about physical therapy, basketball, Bringing Down the House. What was Bringing Down the House about? Wasn't that with the white family with Queen Latifah or something? I don't know what that Bringing Down the House was. You say yes, so I'm not sure what the significance of that is. Bringing down the house. Yeah. Hold on real quick. Hold on. So there is this mask that's being ripped off. I'm seeing a scene, and it's interesting because I can't remember the movie, but I'm seeing this one specific scene where it was like the dad in that movie was trying to be black. It was trying to be black. But if I'm not mistaken, Queen Latifah was trying to embrace her environment. She was trying to embrace her environment around being around them because she was, you know, everybody else was white. So with that black and that white, I did repost one of my fashion videos from 2 years ago on my Instagram story today, and I had on black and white. So there's this overwhelming enlightenment. Like I said, I keep picking up on that. This enlightenment here. Some of y'all were engulfed in the darkness. Some of y'all felt like the black sheep, really felt alone. But a lot of you are going to find peace in this stillness. It just feels really peaceful right now. I'm glad I cut the music off. I'm glad I cut the music off. So some of you may also find that you're not really too talkative, or you just really want conversations that have some depth, some substance to it. But you don't always have to fill in the gap either. Some of you, silence is awkward, especially when you're in the presence of someone. Because maybe you just feel like you got to always talk or entertain, or you don't know what they're thinking, or you start thinking all these different things, so you try to keep yourself busy. Okay. If any of you all do have anything on the background, in the background right now, I do invite you to turn the volume down and listen. Listen. I Am Spiritual Mo says she was locked up for a crime she didn't commit and was catfished. An attorney, Steve Martin, and she catfished an attorney to help her. Okay. She was locked up for a crime she didn't commit. Ashe. So we talked about this restriction energy. So there could have been some, like I talked about. Yeah, I picked up on that when I was like, this could be intergenerational things that you were called to unlock, that maybe you had to carry, that you experienced, right? Curses that may have been put on ancestors that affected you and your upbringing or your life experience. Okay. And that's also speaking of that breaking down the house with, thank you for sharing that. That's also your ancestors coming in, like they're fighting on your behalf, or they're speaking on your behalf as well to make sure justice is served. What else? What was that I just got? Katrina. That was a hurricane, I know. Oh yeah, transformation, change. Some of you just really need to get still, and you'll be able to connect the dots. What's true for you, though? Like, you may be really second guessing yourself because you're like, well, this is what I think, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You do know. And there are different perspectives. So there could be another way you could look at it, but what way is Spirit showing you, like, this truth, or what is Spirit trying to show you? And now I'm hearing Trust Issues by Drake. Oh, trust issues. So some of you may really not trust Spirit or trust yourself. Yeah, somebody's really second guessing like their spiritual team or just their journey or their discernment, their self. But it's more like trusting the higher source. And you may want to, you may say you do, but there is some like underlying doubt that I'm picking up. Somebody has red nails or red tips or something like that. Somebody loves hot fries and cigarettes. Whoever this is that was smoking cigarettes, The cigarettes don't even do it for you anymore. Speaking of cigarettes, some of you definitely need to cleanse your environment or be an advocate and speak up for yourself when it comes to, you know, just making certain requests. Okay. Peace sign films. You have red nails. Okay. We have judgment here. So this judgment is representing that spiritual awakening as well. All right. I'm hearing some of you are asking for clarity, and when the clarity comes through, just receive it. Receive it. Because I see somebody like deflecting that of which they asked for. And I was thinking about that black and white video like I told y'all I posted today. And when I was in that era, I think I was 27 at the time. And you couldn't tell me shit. When I say you couldn't tell me shit, it was bad. It was bad. Because I just knew, I knew what I knew. And I knew some shit, but you could have told me some shit. Like, I could definitely use a word of advice, but I was just feeling myself so bad. I was feeling myself so bad. I was like on my high horse. And I was just looking back at myself. I was like, I was a fucking trip, bitch. And I just laughed, just reflecting on how far I came. Some of you may be in that space now where you may feel like, interesting, because Logas sent me this video today and he wanted to know my perspective on it. So I didn't talk to him about it yet. But in the video, this woman was talking about, you know, setting boundaries, and if there's things that you're working on, if there's things that you want to, do, or you're trying to make certain decisions, that it is important that you set boundaries with yourself and not overshare, not share what you're doing, because when you share what you're doing, then you're going to get advice, and you don't want advice. Advice is what you don't want, because then there'll be too many thoughts or too many opinions that are clouding your judgment. And my own perspective of that is I could see why that lovely feels that way. I used to feel that way as well. But I think it's just important that we, one, zoom out and learn how to decipher, decode, you know, what's being told to us about us, right? Not be defensive and not just take everything that somebody says and run with it, but actually just collect the data that is given. But it's a dangerous spot to be in sometimes when we just make certain decisions for ourselves, because sometimes our judgment is a little off. Sometimes our judgment is a little skewed. Or even if your judgment isn't off, there could just be something that you don't see, something that you did not consider, that somebody else could bring to light that can actually help you when it comes to making a decision that actually aligns and that is more in alignment with you. Okay? But are you open to hear the truth about yourself? Are you open to those honest reviews? Or do you only want to hear what you want to hear? Are you only open to hear what you want to hear? And you may feel like, oh, I don't want to talk to this person about these things because they always shut me down. They always shut me down. And there are times where our bluff is called and we are backed into a corner where it's time for us to rise and be exactly who we say we are. But again, then there are times where sometimes we can get ahead of ourselves, right? And we may be like, you know, we may zoom too far in the future, like, well, I know this future version of me exists, so I'm just going to go ahead and speak it into existence. I'm going to go ahead and say that I am that thing now. And it's like, there could be some things that you sign up for that you're not quite ready for. But if you don't share, if you don't talk to anybody about it, and this is not saying you have to talk to anybody before you make decisions, but if you're completely closed off to that, there are some things that you can be robbing yourself from seeing about yourself. Okay? So be open to the universe communicating to you in different ways. In different ways. It may be directly through your crown chakra, through dreams, through downloads. It may be through your enemy. You know what I mean? It may be through your parent. It may be through your children. It may be through your boss. It may be through your colleagues. But do you fear judgment? Again, do you fear this judgment here? And then we have the Hierophant, the Taurus energy showing up again. So the Judgment and the Hierophant here. Some of you may feel just really overwhelmed when it comes to the pressure or the responsibilities that you have been assigned. We have any life path number 3s, life path number 33s, life path number 11s, life path number 7s here. But the Hierophant with this Taurus energy, this is speaking of you being in the beginning phases of something, you being in the earlier phases. So let's talk more about it. Okay, you a life path number 7. What's up with this? We have isolation. Some of us, the negative self-talk is so loud. The negative self-talk is so loud. So some of us may even benefit from writing down our beliefs, writing down these lies that we believe are truths, and then on the other side of that, following up with the truth that actually serves us. Some of you have really bad anxiety when it comes to, like I said, sitting by yourself, or just the thought of being alone, or the thought of, you know, yeah, just sitting in a space by yourself. It's just, it makes you feel uneasy because some of you may have like some abandonment wounds. Some of you may have some abandonment wounds. You may feel like if you don't show up in this perfect way, that somebody will leave you or something like that. Or if you show up and really be honest about the depression that you're in, or your true feelings, if you really truly express those, that somebody is going to judge you and then leave you. Or judge you and blackmail or something like that. How do you know your life path number? So you just add up all of the numbers individually. So like, for example, my birthday is 8/18/1994. So you add 8 plus 1 plus 8 plus 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 4. If that number equals a 11, a 22, or a 33, you keep those. You do not simplify those. But if your number adds up to 27, right, you add those two numbers and that adds up to 9. So that's a life path number 9. If your number adds up to 13, then that's a life path number 4, because that 1 plus 3 equals 4. So that's how you do it. You just don't simplify the 11, 22, and 33. Those are master energies. But the other numbers can be broken down to give you your one. Your life path number 3 and you're in hermit mode. Okay. Yeah, use it to your advantage and think of ways and how you can show up for the collective. Welcome in, y'all. Okay, we have moving. We have isolation and we have moving here. All right, so some of you isolated yourself. Some of you hermited yourself because maybe you needed to do some healing. Maybe you needed to silence the noise. But we have movement here. So let's see what's up with this movement. So what's your life path number, brown skin? Do the math. And come tell us. Yes, we have the Four of Cups in reverse. So, some of you you may have really grew comfortable with this space that you're in, but I see you moving out of that space and actually wanting to be around more people or share space with more people in whatever way, shape, or form that looks like, rather, because you could have even just been like a work from home kind of person, and you still may work from home, but I do see this sense of a need of community, come through for you, where you're like, you know what, I do want a community to check in with, or, you know, somebody to hang out with and things like that. Peaceful. But with this isolation and is moving and the Four of Cups in reverse as well, there is something moving out that I see that it's not going to feel heavy like you may think. Or it's like, what I see is you handling death and transitions and endings differently. Counting it all joy, knowing that that's just the ending of a chapter, ending of a story, but a continuation of your evolution, an ending of a relationship with just how you connected to a part of yourself, and now it's time for you to evolve that and allow for that energy to manifest in the healed version. But moving is a conscious decision that has to be made. But not necessarily either, because you could stay in a place and get evicted. It's where you're forced to move. So some of us have been evicted, literally, or maybe just spiritually, you know, maybe emotionally in a relationship area, like people just rejected you, forcing you to move inward, forcing you to face this anxiety, forcing you to face your true feelings, forcing you to face this depression that you've been trying to suppress or cover or mask. And some of you had to evict energy that was trying to drown you in that space. Because you'd be surprised. What you need from others is really what you need from yourself. Because I'm just seeing somebody who's really, 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 really low. And I know this was a thing for me. Where when I was really, really, really low, it was this one person that I connected with so tight. Like, and because they were what I needed. They gave me what I needed at that time. They helped me they made decisions for me, really, but they helped me make decisions. And it's like it was comforting, but I gave all my power away, literally. And then when I began to make decisions for myself, when I began to just take time for myself, that energy would get really irritated. It would get really angry. It would get really like possessive. And it was like a power struggle between myself and them. And it was like the more I became that of which I needed from them for myself, the less that I needed them in that way, which made them feel like they weren't needed, which made them feel the void that they had within that I filled by needing them. And again, as I began to be that version of myself for myself, and I moved out of that space of needing them, they're not here anymore. But they're serving other reflections of me. They're serving that same they're serving that same purpose on my past versions of self. It's as if I chose to rise and to see myself in a new light and to show up for myself in a new way. So be at peace. And just because you're at peace doesn't mean you don't feel grief. Doesn't mean that you're not going to miss that version of yourself. You're not going to miss that person. Or you're going to miss that job or that home or that car or whatever. But as you evolve, the higher you go, the lonelier it gets. Or I won't say the lonely. The more alone you become. The more at home you become, the more alone you become. And when I say alone you become, you still, because like right now, that's how my life's playing out, where I don't talk to too many people. But I have just enough connections to where it's like I still feel human. But in regards to like my day-to-day, only person I really check in with is like my mom and my sister. But other than that, I don't really talk to too many people. And I'm not saying that that's good. I'm not saying that that's bad. But what I am saying is I have noticed that, again, when I was in a very low space, I had all of these reflections around me that I looked to, that I needed to connect with on a day-to-day basis, that I needed to hang out with to fill that void. And now I have the peace within myself to where I still enjoy the people around me when we do share space, but I enjoy my space as well. My space. Facebook. So, let's see. Kenzela said, interesting. I felt called to ask you, do you have any friends, sisters? The other day, I do have friends. Actually, I do have friends. Now I could count them on one hand. I do have friends, but that's why I put emphasis on I don't need them in the way that I needed them before. Now I just pretty much experience them and enjoy them for them. Just their essence, their energy. I just experience them. And in our conversations, I'm always decoding, trying to really, get what my higher self is trying to show me out of that, from that connection, from that divine reflection in that moment. But in regards to making decisions, when it comes to filling my cup, when it comes to feeling seen, when it comes to feeling heard, when it comes to feeling one, I feel those things. And I know my source. Because like we just talked about, sometimes it's nothing wrong with going to your friends for advice again, or going to your parents for advice again. But then it's also, again, as you evolve, you'll find that actually your spirit guides that you once only connected with in this meditative space, in this like euphoric kind of space, this non-tangible kind of space, you'll find that at least one of them incarnates in your physical reality, where you could touch them, You can smell them, you can hear them, you can feel them, you can call them. And when they manifest, when you're able to see them in the physical realm, like Brother Logas is one of my spirit guides incarnated. And once you see your guides, because you can use everybody as a reference, everybody as a tool, and in some sense of like of a guide, right? But it's sometimes that we go to the, I don't want to say wrong reflection, but we go to a version of ourselves, rather it's through your friends or whoever, right? For advice that our highest self or a higher version of us or a higher level of conscious can only comprehend. Like that's like you may have big goals, big dreams, and all these things, but you're going to someone who has a very pessimistic and lack mindset for advice. You know, that's when you want to like take the meat, spit out the bones, and like know that it may be a lot more bones than meat. But when you have that one person who actually has results, who is guiding you but not controlling you, you know, that's who you want to go to. That's who you want to go to. And so it's about knowing who to go to for what. It's about knowing who to go to for what. You're not going to go to everybody for everything. Everybody's not specialized in everything. Right? So we talked about this before. Like, what role are you going to put the people in? What role do the people around you play? And what shoes are you trying to get them to fit that that's not their shoes, Cinderella? It may be too big, it may be too small, but there is a shoe for everybody in your life and a purpose that they serve in your life. You just got to like decipher that, decode that. And remember, they're all reflections of you, past, present, future, dark, light, in the middle, high, low, however you'd want to. Look in the mirror, asking the version of yourself that already knows. That's why you get no response. Does it resonate with your highest self? I say outward. I'm trying to figure out where it is, where to move with my son right now. Okay. Well, instead of trying to figure out, just pause right now. Just pause right now and ask your higher self to show you what needs to be seen. Show you what needs to be seen. Let's address the inner state, and then we'll be able to hit the interstate. So don't overwhelm yourself. I don't know what your situation is. We could pull some cards if you'd like, but just be still and let it be revealed. It ain't nothing for you to figure out. It ain't nothing for you to figure out. It's just a matter of you seeing what already is. Brown skin come back 30 minutes later talking about I laugh aloud, I did it wrong. You've been over there trying to calculate. What did you get? Did you add up all the different numbers? What number did you get? Your month, your day, and the entire year. What else we got? I'm done with this deck. Give me one though, and we're gonna move on to the next. Yay! We have the 5 of Wands in reverse, and we have the new relationship faced forward upright, and we have divorce in reverse. Interesting. Yes, yes, yes. So with the 5 of Wands is very challenging, very competitive energy. And with it being in reverse, again, that's the veil that's being lifted. That's the veil that's being lifted. With this divorce being in reverse, it's like, and the new relationship being up right here, this is just feeling like, it's along the lines of what I've been speaking about. Like as you cultivate these new relationships, or not even new, but true, relationships with yourself and reconnect the pieces of you and things like that, you will begin to see the oneness. You will begin to see the oneness, which will allow for the separation to happen with certain relationships, and you be at peace because you know, like, they're not here. Like I spoke of, like that family member, that person, that lovely that I connected with at that time of need, like this, they were here and now they're not here. I know they're still here. I know that that piece of me still lives within. I have access to it. I dream about them. I can still go and communicate with that part of myself. It's a part of me. And so there could be some transitions that happen. Yeah, some transitions with this 9 that happens that maybe you weren't quote unquote ready for, but I want you to see to really cultivate a new relationship with endings and death. Knowing that it's just a reflection of you coming into a higher version of you, an evolved version of you. Okay, babe. Okay, Midori. So I'm about to close out. Midori says she is going to send a love offering in. And I think I'm pretty much done for tonight anyway. So if y'all do want a reading, y'all can send your love offerings in. Or if you want a personal reading, you can send your love. You could book through CrystalineMars.com. But let's wrap up real quick. I want to pull one Orisha card. And then we're going to get our declaration. Is this energy resonating with y'all? I know y'all receiving because y'all ain't go nowhere. But y'all been pretty quiet tonight. Just need one. Brown Skin said 1995. What's your birthday? Add your birthday. Come on, instructions, because I'm not about to enable you. We're going to figure this thing out. We're not going to give up. Add your birthday, your birth month. So if it's a 12, you're going to add the 1 plus the 2 plus the 3 plus the 5, I'll say 5, plus the 1 plus the 1 plus the 9 plus the 9 plus the 5, whatever your year is. When what big number do you get? Let's start there. Add up your day, your month, your day, and your year. Number by number, and then tell me what you get there. You're looking at all them numbers like, oh my gosh, it's so overwhelming. I'm stressed. Brown skin stressed about them 10 digits, bitch, or however many they are. What's that, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, up to 8 digits is the most. What we got? Thank you. I asked for one and we have it. Ooh, I've never seen this one. So it's palm tree. Palm tree, palm tree, palm tree. The palm tree symbolizes, come on, Taurus, resilience, strength, and shelter in Yoruba tradition. Known for withstanding harsh conditions, it stands tall and provides protection. Its guidance encourages you to stay rooted, remain resilient through adversity, and offer support to those in need. So who is your palm tree? What is your palm tree? And how can you be a palm tree? How can you be a palm tree? Because sometimes we do need somebody to lean on. Sometimes we do need a spiritual tool, a gem, a jewel to support us. But also, how can you support yourself? How can you support yourself? Remembering that at the end of the day, you gotta want it for yourself in order for change to really, because the change, we're, you know, like I said, with the eviction and things like that, we are often put in positions where we're at crossroads or we feel like we're backed into a corner and we have to move. But you ultimately have the final say in regards to what direction you're going to move in. Are you going to move backwards? You're going to move forward? Are you going to move in circles? So what you going to do? Be still and let the information come to you, flow through you. Ashe. Brown Skin said all of your numbers equal 24. So if that was correct, now give me it so I can proof check. Now, since you did your work, we can proof check. Because that 24, and that's been interesting. The 24 has been showing up a lot for me today. The 24 has been showing up a lot for me today. The 24th is on Thursday. So that'll be, I'm not sure if it's any connection to that, but yeah, if that is correct, brown skin, your life path number is a 6 because the 2 plus 4 equals 6, which means you're being called, your purpose is to bring balance, is to bring harmony and justice to the world and the environments that you are in, to be the mediator, and to heal relationships, and be an advocate for those who don't speak, who can't speak up for themselves and things like that. So you dropped your numbers. Okay, so we got 3, 4, bitch, all the ones. How many ones is those? 3, 3, 6, 7. 7 plus 8 is 15. 15 plus 9 is 24. Look at you. You right on it. So see, yep, life path number 6. So that's what we got there for you, babe. Miss Sheba said, yes, this totally, like, always resonates with me. Ashe. So let's go ahead and pull our declaration for today. Okay, let me just stop. I don't want to pull from this. I want to pull from the book You Owe You. Or I'm going to pull from 90. Let's see what 90 got for us. One sec, y'all. Y'all say hey to Con. You say hey to Con? What we got? What you got for us, 90? Y'all go get y'all 90 books. Building the Ultimate Empire. We do sell them on the website and also on Amazon. This is Brother Logas's book. So I'm gonna open up a chapter and see what the chapter has for us. Oh, we have chapter 45. I'm gonna read it. Don't quit. That 45 adds up to 9, that transformative energy that we've been picking up today. And what's today? Today isn't a 9 energy, is it? Let me see something real quick. Yay, you spelled it right. No, actually today is a 6 energy. Today is a 6 energy. But okay, let's see. Trials and tribulations are expected, not only when you are building the ultimate empire, but also during your entire existence. It is inevitable. You will be tried and you will be challenged. You can run away and you can try to hide, but it will not do you much good. You know that. I know that. Your team and your family knows that. Even children know that. And yet we're still prepared to quit when things get too tough for us. Why is that? The irony that when I receive a new client for me to whip into shape and then they tell me that they're geared up and ready for me to kick their butt. Come on, work out tomorrow. How they don't want me to hold back. How they're ready to essentially die for the cause. They want to get back into shape and they want it so bad, so they have come to me to torture their fat cells and improve their muscle capacity. And then when the pain begins, almost the same reaction is always expressed. They don't feel well and they are not sure if this is really for them. Do you see the problem here? It is that pain that distracts us. Don't let the pain distract you. Don't let the pain be the thing that causes you to tap out. What they say, no pain, no gain. Remembering that the pain is just the result of you actually exercising those muscles and you will grow stronger. So you have to keep going, right? If you want to become stronger, if you want to reach that goal. It is a natural reaction and it is to be expected. Wherever there is some sort of pain or discomfort, the brain automatically forms the conclusion that we must retreat and flee from whatever is the root of this unfortunate happenstance. It is natural, but like you and I know, it doesn't mean that it's right. The real issue is not you. It's not your group. It's not your group's lack of mental toughness. It's not your resolve. It is not your weakness. It's not even the source of the pain itself. It is your understanding for doing what you are doing. This is what separates the back-to-back championship teams from the pack. This is what creates Fortune 500 companies from used to be struggling startups. This is what creates Instagram models out of the average gym goer. It is one's deep and continuous understanding of why. Why go through it? Why push past it? Why continue? Why is it important? Why is it necessary? Why is it powerful? Just why. We need to know why. A lot of times telling children they can't do something just because we said so is not enough reasoning to make them not to give it a try. Despite our fair warning, it is because the reasoning for not doing so is not deep enough. They may understand your words, but if you do not effectively communicate that why to them, then your threatening remarks will fall off deaf ears, resulting in complete disregard of your instructions. To not fully explain, inform, and engage your fellow team member or even family is to quit. You are quitting on them. You are quitting on your leadership role. You are a quitter, and a quitter will only produce more quitters. There will be many days, an uncountable amount of days, when you will want to quit. Maybe your job, maybe your relationship, possibly a book you are writing or reading. But what will be your benefit for doing so? Is it really worth giving up on? If it is, then by all means do. But if it's not, then keep going. See here, I'm giving you the reason, possibly a deeper reason to not give up on building your ultimate empire. But it doesn't stop there. Every chapter is meant to do the same. Do you get it? Every day you must find new information to hold on to that will allow you to press forward through the most difficult of times. You need to drown out the loud screeching noises of pain and ignore the megaphone voice telling you to pack it in. The only way to do that is to find a reason, the reasons that we're here, to keep going. I'm telling you not to quit on your goals and dreams for the same reason you're telling your family to keep believing in you, because it's worth it. And so let our declaration for today be, I am open to discover my why. I am open to discover my why. I am open to discover my why. And some of you may feel like you know what your why is. But again, YMCA, as you go inward, as you evolve, your why evolves. Your why may just be something surface. Like I shared with y'all, my why used to be, I just wanted to help people feel beautiful. And then that evolved to, okay, I actually want to help people actually feel beautiful within themselves, and regardless to what their external looks like. And then my why evolved to, actually, okay, well, I want people to be able to identify that of which really is making them not feel good, and that's when we've got into the spiritual works and like the spirits and the energies and things like that. And just my why has evolved. And even it has evolved past the people, right? It includes the people, but it also includes myself, my personal whys. My daughter, for example, I tell y'all she's in gymnastics, and so she's been working on her bridge kicks, which is like where they bend backwards and then they got to bring their legs up and flip. And she's been having this dream, this strong desire to ring the bell, as they call it, during gymnastics practice. And when they ring the bell, that's when I guess everybody looks, and then that person does their thing, whatever it is. And so she's been so eager for the past 2 weeks to ring the bell, ring the bell, ring the bell. And she was like, I want to be, she's like, I really got to get these bridge kicks because I want to ring the bell. And I was like, well, do you want to be a great gymnast? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, do you want to be the best gymnast? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, well, let's focus more on that. Because if you're just focused on ringing the bell, then after you ring the bell, then what? I want to say it, but I always butcher it, so I'm not going to say it. But some of y'all may know exactly what I'm trying to say, so I'm going to say it. But what is it? It's the saying where it's like, don't do things to where it's an end to a mean. I always butcher it. A means to an end. Do it for you know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I just can't regurgitate it, bitch. And so maybe I don't know, but I do know. I just can't regurgitate it for whatever reason. But don't do it because if it's a means to an end or whatever. Like, don't let it be just because I was talking to Logas about that one time. We was talking about health goals, and he was like, well, what's your goal? And I was like, well, to be healthy. And he was like, okay, but then when you reach ultimate health, then what? And I was like, it made me just think. So like I said, as you evolve, your whys will evolve into something bigger and greater than just yourself, and just greater than what you've seen before. All right, y'all, I see y'all left y'all declarations. So that concludes our tarot tea time. I'm really, really hot, and I got y'all candles burning. We got 6 candles working right now. It is hot as fudge. And Brother Logas is 9:33. Come on. See, it be them times. It be them times where I be running divine. Oh, Midori sent her love offering in. Great. So I could do Midori. It be them times where I be running behind and he be showing up divine. And then them times where I be ready. But I guess I'm not ready, right? Because I got a reading. I got a reading to do. Okay, y'all. So that concludes tarot tea time for the collective. I'm now about to get into Midori's reading. So let me go back to Midori's question. What inner part of myself do you keep channeling that needs work? Okay, Midori. Let's see what we got. Midori said, you keep telling me to ground myself, but what does that mean? Okay, so we have death here. Okay, one more. We have solo parenting. Are you single? With this solo parenting and death, I'm picking up on this energy where it's like you want guidance, you want protection, you want leadership. But that's something that has not really been a thing for you in your past. And so now you're trying to figure it the fuck out, and it feels very anxious where you're you said I've lived with anxiety disorder. Yeah. For years, so I feel like maybe I'm almost scared to figure out or experience what me being completely grounded may feel like. I may be a completely different person. I'm with my baby daddy, but I feel like this relationship is not meant for me. I'm with my baby daddy. I'm with my baby daddy. My baby daddy. So there is definitely some past energy. It's like your inner child. There's some healing. There is some insecurities that the masculine, I'm not sure how your father's relationship was, how your upbringing was when you were a child, but it definitely has caused you to look for that energy in all of the wrong places. And I invite you to, I'm not sure the depth. I would definitely need more information in regards to, and you don't have to share this right now unless you want to, but no more information in regards to like your relationship, the status of it. What is it that makes you feel like this relationship is not meant for you? Because because I'm not here to say it is or it's not right now. I didn't pull many cards, but there is an energy that's coming through that's trying to protect you because you don't feel safe. And you feel like you have to make these decisions on your own. We have the Page of Pentacles. Honestly, I'm feeling like Spirit's like, just hold tight. Pump your brakes. Pump your brakes right now. Pump your brakes. Yes, here go that King of Cups energy. Here goes that King of Cups energy. This father energy here. So I do feel like, and with the father, I think it is important, especially that we consider our children. That we consider our children, and we do all that we can do to save our relationships. I mean, when I say save, I mean, you know, just bring in compassion, bring in empathy, seek understanding of that person, and not trying to save them, not trying to do the work for them, but considering how big of a decision it is to separate your family. And so I would first start with the inner state, like I said. And as you begin to heal this past, because this feels like past energy, you say, yes, we've been together for 3 years and he takes care of me, but he does not make me feel safe. How does he not make you feel safe? I think that's something that you should explore. It's interesting because this may be a little controversial for some people, but I personally feel like the woman, we put so much on the masculine in regards to like their role and how they, like, what us feeling safe looks like from them when it comes to like how they naturally bring that energy versus like what we need from them because of our voids, because of our lacks, because of our insecurities. And so based off of our personal trauma or insecurities or lack, we have these expectations for them to show up in a way that they really don't have the capacity to. And it's not even their purpose to. Yes, the divine masculine is protective, is providing, but it's like, okay, but the divine feminine is the actual nurturer. You know, and you said he doesn't make me feel safe. So the feelings is connecting us to our feelings. So that's some internal stuff. Okay. Midori Butler said, I recently had a nightmare that he did something to someone else and he put me in danger by doing it because the person he harmed came to retaliate, and because I was with my man, they attacked me too. He has anger issues and makes unsafe choices. Okay. Well, that's another layer to the onion as well. But I do invite, as I think it's important, like I said, that we really understand, we seek to understand the role of the masculine energetically as within and so without, and the role of a feminine. And I'm not talking about cooking and cleaning. I'm not talking about like those general bases, but more so spiritual protection, right? The man provides physically. The man protects physically. The divine, and when I say man, I mean masculine. That's the feminine. I mean, that's the masculine is the manifested version of that. The feminine is the spiritual provider, the spiritual protector. And so do you really understand what that looks like for you? Are you playing your proper role? Because that dream could vary. You know, I just picked up on that dream interpretation energy, that nightmare energy for the collective. And so there could definitely be some, that dream could not necessarily mean, because it could mean different things, but this is just one perspective. That could mean that there is some energy that he may be battling, that may be interfering, that may be harmful to him and to you. And there may be some work that needs to be done by you to protect your union, to protect the father of your child, you know, spiritually. You know, it was interesting because I remember I was watching Pop the Balloon a few weeks ago, and the guy asked, he asked the woman, what do you bring to the table? The table. What do you bring to the table besides cooking and cleaning and, you know, the regular things that women say? And she literally couldn't answer the question to the point where she like flipped it on him. And she was like, well, the real question is, what do you provide for me? She couldn't answer it, you know? And then when she did answer it, she answered it with like the most basic answer, the most regurgitated answer that we all hear, which is, oh, the feminine's essence, you know, just me being around is a blessing to the man, and just I am the table essentially, you know. And I was like, it's something as simple as you could provide spiritual protection, you know, assist your masculine when it comes to seeing things that maybe they don't see, you know, when it comes to, you know, they may have somebody in their corner or like about to do a business deal and like intuitively, or, you know, maybe you got a sign or something like that. Like, babe, you might want to like ask some questions, or I don't know about that, you know. So are you playing your role too? You know? So like I said, I'm not encouraging you necessarily I'm not encouraging you to stay. I'm not encouraging you to leave. But what I am encouraging you to do is, again, to go inward and ask yourself these whys. Like, what's the role of the masculine energy within and without, and how can I show up in a way where I am taking action and using my masculine energy to do what needs to be done to protect myself and the people around me, and how can I, you know, execute that spiritually as well? Is that learn more about energy work? Is that, you know, incorporate more tools, learn more about rituals and deities that I could work with that are in alignment with my intentions and things like that? Like, what do I need to do? Instead of you trying to hit the interstate, let's hit the interstate and see, like, okay, let's see what we need to do. You said, so do I need to do some spiritual protection work for myself and my family for that harmful energy? I would definitely recommend it, especially considering that you have a child with this person. I mean, and that's why I said, like, I would do all that I can do. And then when you do all that you can do, and, you know, things just still begin to unfold the way they are unfolding, you can at least be at peace. Like, I literally exhausted my resources. I was patient. I went from different angles, you know what I mean? And it just still was what it was. Then we'll cross that bridge if we get there. But if you haven't really did your best to fight this energy, then I think that's something that we can take a step back and really just, you know, see if that's something that we want to do. And like I said, you do have a child, and your decisions are going to affect that child. So I just say really consider that. And yes, so something that you could do, I mean, you can do something like write a protection prayer, including your family members' names there. And you can put like some cinnamon. You could write on a piece of paper, sprinkle some cinnamon, some salt, and you can fold that paper up and put it in like a little baggie, a small little baggie with like some protection stones, like maybe your dragon's bloodstone, some black obsidian, some hematite, or, you know, like some protective stones to protect your family, and place that in like a sacred place. You know, you can conduct a ritual where, or a guided meditation where you just visualize your son and your partner in a triangle, and creating a force field around you, calling forth your spiritual court, your ancestors, protective deities and things like that to cover you. So there's different ways you can go about it. Also doing energy work on your masculine through massages, through, you know, it's different ways. Like I said, we could talk all day. So I definitely recommend that you book at least a consultation so we could get a little bit more in depth, or you could send another love offering at another time. But that's pretty much like the meat that I think you need right now to shift your focus on, not necessarily where you need to go externally, but where you need to go internally, so we can have more desirable, at least, experiences. So that's what you got. You say yes, because besides that, we don't have any more relationship issues. Yes. So let's go ahead and get that done. Girl, boo. Next. So let's go ahead and we're about to go ahead and transition over to our next segment, which is the spiritual lesson. These are my confessions. So I'm about to turn this thing on around to Brother Logas. Okay. Boom, boom. All right. We was doing no music today. I cut it up for you. Actually, peace, y'all.
Peace, family. Today's spiritual lesson is equally yoked. Equally yoked, right? It is a mindset. Equally yoked is a mindset. It's not necessarily a status, though it can be, but it is more centered around: do you have an equal mindset? Meaning, do you both have a very similar way of thinking, a very similar type of ambition, a very similar drive, a very similar temperaments, right? Is it very similar? It doesn't have to be exact, but just very similar in the way to where you can easily work together or follow, one another because you have similar aspirations, right? You have similar aspirations. And it can even be where even one may have high aspirations, the other one may not have necessarily had high aspirations, but they believe in your aspirations and your motivations and your ambitions so much that they're willing to do anything to assist you into achieving those things, right? That would still be an equally yoked person because they share a similar mindset. They don't have to have the mindset before you meet them, but they have to have the ability to turn on such a mindset once you meet them and show them what it is that you're doing or what you're trying to do. All right, there's a lot of individuals who don't know what their mindset is until they're presented with the possibility or the opportunities to channel into such a mindset, and then they realize, like, you know what, I resonate with that type of mindset. I resonate with that type of mentality. Okay, so that's the type of equally yokedness that you want to look for, that you desire. That would be, most beneficial. Now, understand that I've met or I've been in relationships and with a lot of women that I've been in relationships with, other people a lot of times will feel like maybe I am not, on that, woman's level in some way, right? And I never really paid it much of any mind. And those women that I have dated, they've always felt like, not that they were above me, but they always felt that they were always used to being the quote unquote highly yoked being within the relationship. Right. And what I come to find is that, and this happens with men, this happens with women, but just in my personal experience, I come to find is that when you, as an individual, have a highly yoked mindset, right? We're not talking about how I look versus how the other person looks, or who I know versus what the other person knows, or how much money I'm making versus how much money the other person is making. But when one individual has a highly yoked mindset and they meet, and you get into you can get into a relationship with someone who may seem like they're maybe a league higher than you, right? To other people, right? It might seem that way. But all you need, because you have a highly yoked mindset, all you need is space and opportunity. All you need is knowledge and information and wisdom, and you automatically grow and you elevate to higher levels. Sometimes you may find that type of pressure can unveil the actual insecurities in the person that you seemingly thought was of a higher yokage. But then when they see your growth and they see your tenacity and your focus and your ability to improve and your drive to wanting to become better, and not to accept you know, just your old self, right? But to constantly evolve to your new self, it can cause an insecurity in the other person because they don't have an equally yoked mindset, and they see that you and your drive will eventually push you beyond them, or at least they feel like it would be beyond them. And they know that they don't have the drive within them to try to quote unquote keep up with your growth. So understand that someone can be of a higher social status, and sometimes, you know, of a higher financial status, or a higher you know, corporate status or what have you, but could still be of a lower mindset yokage. And that can still cause an issue at a certain point in the relationship. While on the other hand, you could meet somebody of a lower social status who may actually have a mindset might have their mindset might be equal to yours as far as yokage, right? But then vice versa, someone could be of a higher status or the same status, and you have an equal, you know, mindset yokage, right? Someone could be of a way lower social status and financial status or whatever status, and also have a very low mindset status as well, right? So what I'm saying is, be mindful of the mindset compared to your mindset. So also understand that you might have a more chilled back mindset. And then the person that you are interested in, or you are courting, or you are dating, or you're hanging out with, might have a higher mindset than you, might have a more ambitious mindset than you, might have a more drive type mindset than you. In that case, you know, you might have to reflect and be like, you know what, I don't really have that type of drive. So to tell you the truth, you're higher, you just have a higher yokage than me. You're a more highly mentally mindset yoked than I am. It's okay to, and it's actually very intelligent, very smart to accept that someone might be of a higher yokage than you, and you should probably just step away to avoid the embarrassment, or you know, or the disappointment, or the exposure, right? And do it in a very mature, cordial way. Instead of what some people will do is when they realize, like, oh, you know what, I'm not on the same level, they just try to cause a scene, right? There's no need for that. Just creates more trauma. So that's today's spiritual lesson. Now we'll go into the Q&A. Well, really, actually, I believe that Graffiti threw in something into the pot for, I believe it was Graffiti, for a live reading. Peace to all of the Facebookers and the OGs on IG, as well as the YouTubers. We appreciate all the likes, shares, and subscribes, all of the reposts and the reels and the stories and the Zelles and Apple Pays, Cash Apps, not Cash Apps, yeah, Cash Apps, and Super Chats. Side of Film says, which one tends to be more accurate? Opposites attract or like minds attract? Which one is more accurate? Well, I would say, I can't say if one is more accurate than the other, because they both, in my opinion, are very accurate. Opposites attract because of because technically the vibrations are headed in the same direction. So north and south vibration, like on a magnet, is heading in the same direction, right? Where there is a hero, there is a villain. Right. So opposites attract because that's just electromagnetism. That's how it works. At the same time, like minds attract. Because that's what you feel drawn to. That's what you feel drawn to, right? Like mind attractiveness is more of a choice. It's more of a choice. Opposites attract more on a cosmic level, on a electromagnetic level, where there's nothing you can do about it. That's just the law. That's just the law. Like minds are attracted by choice. I see something that it resonates with me, so I'm choosing to go there. Now, the things that you don't attract that are not part of the law is you're not going to attract things that are in the middle. Your mindset, you're going to attract the things that you think about. You're also going to, and it's even though they both kind of feel very similar, it's like the opposites you are going to attract. What you think about is more of like a manifestation, but it seems like an attraction, but it's more like a manifestation. It's more like what you're thinking about, you materialize that, and you materialize others as well. You materialize experiences. The opposites that come with it is what is the opposite energy that's attracted to the energy. It is challenging, but I don't know if you attract more one than the other, or if you experience more one than the other. Yeah, that is something to think about, though. That is something to think about. For me to answer that more concisely, I'll have to think about that a little bit more. Peace to graffiti. Ashe. Shiva Bay, peace, brother guys. Thank you for your spiritual lesson. This episode really resonated with me. Ashe, Ashe to Shiva Bay. Ashe. But I would say just the best thing to do is to understand that what you are going to resonate with like minds, but at the same time you are going to attract opposite like energies. It just comes with the territory. You don't just get one or the other. You are going to get both. It's all the in-between energies that you're not really going to. Those are the energies that you're going to quote unquote avoid, or you're not gonna really experience too much of. All the in-between energies. Unless you can vibrate into that in-between space. So is it okay if I join for 3 Share? Yeah, go ahead, graffiti. Yeah, you can join in. You can join in. It's all good. I'm open for it.
Peace, OG.
Peace, peace.
How's it going? Wagwan.
It's going well, my brother. How about yourself?
Likewise. I feel a little bit exhausted as the card that I'm really on talked about pushing through and feeling exhausted after just really channeling all day. So I'm sleep. I know I'm gonna sleep good tonight, but everything lining up nicely, or aligned, being aligned nicely, realigning, restoring.
What was the card that you pulled?
Well, really, this it was the 9 of Wands, but it was in reverse. Well, really, this the reason why I asked for another read because the 7 of Swords kept coming up. I took it out of the deck that I made since it was just a template, but it's really it's really speaking out to me. So let me see, as I'm talking about like hurdles and pushing through, I just really want to see where this ego death, so to speak, is gonna have me evolve. What level of ascension I'll be moving into in this next period.
Well, the ascension will be into the 10 of Diamonds, which would be the center of attention, which would be the high success.
No, okay, yeah, because I got that I'll get a lot of envious looks from that high level of success that speak to that. All the 10s are coming out right now.
All the 10s, huh?
I got the cups, wand.
We got the Jack of Diamonds. We got the Jack of Diamonds, which is on the positive side. Jack of Diamonds has a lot of financial success. Actually, it's not necessarily. It's a little bit more. It's like financial, like winnings or a big financial payoff or payday, or there's a big financial acquisition of money and of resources. But at the same time, the Jack of Diamonds also does incorporate mischievous individuals who will try to take your winnings, your resources, your money, try to bamboozle you, try to steal and rob and gyp you out of your estate, right? So that is the negative side to Jack of Diamonds. Oh, shame. So that's what's on the other side of your ego death, I would say.
Yeah, and this is tying into this tying into what's on the other side of the previous read when we're pushing through the struggles of the mind, like and the emotions, like the I won't necessarily say like depressive thoughts, but just that look on like the emotional state I put myself in, say, let's say for my financial situation or for just my emotions and like people pleasing and whatnot, and what was the other thing? Understanding people. Those are things that are gonna come after her getting over those hurdles. So I shaded that.
See, the challenge that many of us, I've explained how we're in the golden age, right? We're in the beginnings of the golden age, but we're in the golden age. The golden age just means a resurgence of the physical masculine dominance. It's a resurgence. It's going to be a short resurgence, but it's a resurgence. maybe 20 years or so. I'll say anywhere between 20 to 40 years is my guess. But then we'll go all the way into the feminine. Now, when that happens, no amount of physical, grit and grind and force is going to successfully help anyone to become, successful in any type of way, or to be prosperous, right? It's going to require high spiritual activation and understanding, right? So, that being said, you have to start looking at people not just as people, but as spiritual beings. So when you're dealing with them and you're seeing envious looks or any type of negative energy that you're experiencing, you have to start looking at the negative energy attached to them. And you have to start, you got to start doing, how we say, we got to do shadow work. We have to do shadow work. Well, part of the shadow work is dealing with the shadows, not just the shadows within yourself, but the shadows within the other people. Right. So it's time that we start dealing with. That's what all of these shows are trying to show you. All these animes are trying to show you, right? Whether it be the Jujutsu Kaisens or the solo levelings or the some others, the Death Notes or whatever, right? They're showing us that human beings in and of themselves are pretty neutral about things. It's the, in a sense, human beings are pretty, positive about things in a sense, right? But a lot of the negativity, basically like the envies, the prides, the gluttonies, the things like that, like the 7 deadly sin type of energies, those are, for the most part, spirits.
Right.
Those are shadows. So deal with the shadows. Deal with the shadows. Right? As I was telling Duüblé today, there was a man who washes cars. He does like portable car washing, right? So before I went to speak with him, or he came to speak to us, he was washing Duüblé's car, and then he had finished, and he was about to come talk to me about what we're gonna do with my car. And before I can even have a negative interaction, I already had dealt with any negative energy that was attached to him. With any shadows that's attached to him. And because of that, the way that he was speaking to me, the way that he was connecting to me, it was like as if we were best friends type, of energy. And most people are actually usually pretty intimidated by me, pretty nervous around me, things like, even if people who know me, they get that way, right? But when I just deal with the shadow, people are open. They start telling me all these different things. They're touching me. They're like, buddy with me, all these type of things, right? All because I'm just dealing with the shadow. right? Which is the feminine. That's the feminine aspect of things. The shadow world, that's the spiritual world. That's the feminine aspect of things, right? That's the world that we are going to be going into after the golden age is over. So this is the best time
Okay, why did it make you
to
think of Yu-Gi-Oh?
practice. You say Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, you know how they got the Shadow Realm in that drink?
The Shadow Realm. They do have the Shadow Realm. But it's been a long time since I watched Yu-Gi-Oh. But I say.
In there, what's really standing out is the people who sent you to the people who were able to send people to the Shadow Realm had the power of some like Egyptian forces, like the Millennium Eye, the Millennium Puzzle, the Millennium Rod, the Scepter. Those are all like Egyptian symbols.
Well, you know, like you ever seen the movie Berserk? Is it Berserk? The anime, the anime film Berserk, Berserk or Berserker?
With Guts.
With Gus, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's called Berserk, right?
Mhm.
You haven't watched the movies?
Yeah, I love those movies.
Oh yeah. Well, you know that what's his name, Griffin, right? Griffith, that's his name. You know, he becomes a god, right? Well, in order to become a god, he had to go into the shadow world.
I see.
He had to go into.
Oh, go ahead.
He had to go into the shadow world, right? Now Gus also went into the shadow world, right? That's the only way he could fight the shadows, is he had to go into the shadow world.
Right.
So that's the type of world we're like heading into, the world that was created after Gus and Griffith came out of the shadow realm. Where the only way you're gonna really be able to thrive and survive is to have tapped into your shadow energy, your shadow potential. All right.
Nice. Yeah, I think I might need to pull a card for that one because I feel a call to my warrior spirits after you said that.
Oh shit.
And then I also felt a night energy somewhere. Earlier in my deck, the King of Swords came up, but it's in reverse. So I feel like at the end of this journey, he's gonna be upright.
Oh shit, that's good. That's good. You know, even God in the Bible, he had to say, "Let there be light," which means that, you know,
Yeah.
God had to go into the shadow world and then create light, right? So, you know, God had to have mastery over the shadows.
Hold on, I'm gonna respond to Silent Films. He said, "What's the paint in the back?" I got a live painting reel that explains that on my page. You can go check that out.
Ah, shit. Silent Films. Yeah, but it's all about mastering, you know, the shadows. That's what the solo leveling shows as well. Right? That was the gift that the creator God gave him, the power of God, which is the mastery over the shadows. The mastery over the shadows.
And I did say earlier on the show, I think it was when Duüblé was talking about like issues that people having in like being in dark places. And I typed in the comments just to like, not necessarily as words of encouragement, but as like flipping the script, seeing it from a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
The brightest lights come from the darkest of shadows.
Mm-hmm. Or I guess it would be that the darks of shadows are they are created because of the brightest of lights.
Yeah. The brighter that's a Kingdom Hearts quote that I really resonated with. This is the old game.
I remember Kingdom Hearts, yeah.
Yeah, they said the brighter the light, the bigger the shadow cast.
Right. That's why as light being, it's important. See, it's just like Silent Film was asking about, do you attract negative energy, do you attract the opposite, or do you, attract like-minded, or, well, the answer is both. And the key is to acknowledge both. It's to, work with like-minded individuals, right? But acknowledge the opposite-minded individuals or opposite energies, right? And give those opposite energies a direction. See, if you just lock up the Joker, like Batman would do, right? I'm just going to lock up the bad guys. Well, they're just going to sit around and be like, well, what do I do?
Right.
Well, I'm going to break out and just cause more havoc. Because you're not dealing with the energy. Instead, you don't lock them up. You subdue the dark energy, but then you give them a new role. Is that not what in solo leveling? Isn't that not what they do?
I gotta check that out. I've yet to check it out.
Okay. Well, in that show, he absorbs the dead and then gives them a new role in his army.
I got a similar download to that from a different show that I used to watch when I was younger. Where Digimon, where it was in the fourth season, but they would like scan the code of something after they defeated it, and then that code can be like repurposed to build the land.
Repurposed. Repurposed. But when you put people in jail like we do today, and then you don't give them a purpose.
Yeah. You touched on that rehabilitation before.
Right, they just become worse. You give people a direction. But that's what you should try to do, for everybody that you come in contact with. Give them a direction, right? Give children a direction. Give your partner a direction. Give everybody a direction. Give them a direction. If they already have a direction, then allow them to go in their direction. Right? Don't be a hindrance or step in their way. But even when you're dealing with the energies, the demonic energies, the dark energies, it's not enough to just try to cast them out. You got to give them a new purpose. You have to transfer the energy. You have to transfigurate it, transmutate it, right? Into something else. Ashe. Any other questions?
Not that I can really need clarification on right now, unless is there anything I would need to guard myself against? I mean, some of those questions are most of those answers are obvious, but specifically, what way can I move to not alter or revert my progression?
It has something to do with and there seems to be a theme with your cards. It always has to do with like values, finances, and then like family and relationships, right?
Yeah.
So you have the 5 of diamonds here, the 4 of hearts, 3 of diamonds. Guard yourself against. Okay. So you have to be mindful of I'll just say the energies that are attached to your family members.
Okay.
You have to be mindful of those energies because those energies are will change and blind your beliefs, your ideas, your goals, your desires, things like that, right? So that means that it's not enough to just try to protect yourself because you'll constantly be on the defensive. You'll constantly be on the defensive, right? So you want to attack the energy before it gets to you. So you need to actually constantly be on the offensive, which is not battling.
My ritual players. That's what I've really been called to do. Honestly, my protection and my rituals with that. My protection rituals really, as far as my family and whatnot. Like just really changing the narrative, honestly. And again, we can do the protection rituals all day long. The energy's still gonna be there as long as we continue to not address it, like you said. So put it in its place, change the narrative, and go ahead. What you were gonna say to that?
Yeah, just removing the energy from your family members, especially the ones that you know you're going to encounter. That day. Or that
resonate.
Whenever you're about to encounter them, when you are, when you know you're going to see such and such, just kind of you're clearing them off so that you can just deal with them and not deal with the energy that they're bringing.
Right, actually.
And and you pretty much have to do that, every time because people go back and they live their lives and the energy reattaches itself. So, at the same time, that's one aspect that has to be done. At the same time, you have to continue also to grow your own spiritual energy because the stronger that you become, and the more difficult it is for that energy to infiltrate your aura and to even be around you, right?
Right.
So you do both at the same time until you've reached a point to where you're spiritually so strong that you won't have to do that anymore. Right? You don't even have to worry about it. But until then, we must do what we have to do.
I see. And there's one more. It's one more question that could be addressed, but It's not. It's like I'm hearing is one more question, but I don't see it yet. So.
Well, Duüblé says you're born on June 6th.
I'm born on the 18th.
On the 18th?
Yeah, 6/18.
Okay. She said 6/6. I don't know why she said that. Oh no, she was mistaken. 6/18. Ashe. Okay. Ashe. Yeah. So I can see the I can see where there's a lot of there is that mixture of light and dark energy, on top of the fact that you're a Gemini.
Yeah, so many layers of the duality in my life.
Mm-hmm. So do you have a name for your dark and your light side?
I do, but can't share it right now.
Oh, sure. But you do have names for them, though.
Not for the dark.
Not for the dark. Well, then that's something that you should work on.
The name has been, for the light has been revealed to me, yeah.
All right. Well, then you need to reveal the dark side as well.
I should.
That is something that you need to find out. That's how you acknowledge, those egos, right? Because the ego death that's going to come from this eventually is that both names will then eventually merge into one being, right? And the two separate egos will become one ego, right? But you can't become one if you don't know who the two are. You only know one half, you don't know the other half, all right? It's kind of like in Bleach. You've seen the show Bleach?
Yeah.
Ichigo, right? That's the main character. Right, he has his hollow side, and then he has his. Well, he has three sides. He has like the hollow side. He has his Quincy side. He has the Soul Reaper side, right? But the hollow side is his dark side. That's his dark side, right? And he has to acknowledge that side, and he has to give that side, know what its full character is. Just like. Huh?
Just like what?
Just like how, in order to connect with his power, his sword, he has to know the name of his sword, right?
Oh yeah, the Bankai. Okay.
Yeah. So these are the same thing with us. We have to be able to name. What is the name? Of our.
Yeah, that's wild too. I'm so glad that you said that, because I've seen him before. I've called on him before, harnessed his energy before. But calling him by name, I can really become more of myself.
Right.
When I do that. So I'm going to meditate on that tonight.
Ashe.
I think that's what it was. That's what it wanted me to see. You just had to ask me the question.
Ashe, there you go.
Ashe Opa. Olegba. Sorry.
Oh, they're kind of one and the same.
Yeah.
They're the masculine and feminine of the same energy. Ashe. So we'll go ahead and close it right there. That's a good place to end. And we will.
Thank you for having me on.
Oh yes, thank you for coming on, and we will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Ashe.
Ashe, Grace.
Usiku Mwema, which means to have a good night. Ashe. Peace to the Voodoo Vixen. Ashe. So, peace to Sidon Films, and we will see you all tomorrow. Say Ashe, Asante, and Amen. Ime Kamalika, it is done. Ashe.